Hi everyone, it's Heidi from HB Paper Crafts. Welcome to my regular Tuesday Facebook Live. Today is Tuesday, March 10th, 2020. Just going to take a second to make sure we are connected. There's always that fear when you do a live that you're in the wrong spot or you're not doing something right. So there it is. Here we are. I found myself. So as always, we're just going to take a few seconds while we wait for everyone to pop on and to find me in their news feeds. And I'm going to take a couple seconds to just share a few things with you. So first off, of course, Celebration is starting to wind down. There we go. Technical difficulties. So Celebration is starting to wind down. Celebration ends March 31st. So all these products that you've been coveting for the past couple of months, we're going to say goodbye to them all fairly soon. I did want to mention a couple of things. First, this Rise and Shine set that you can get free with a $100 purchase. These Thinlits from the Christmas mugs are actually still available. They're not available in any catalog, but you can still find them online. So if you're interested in that set, again, the Thinlits are still available online. This Well Dressed set, hopefully this will be our project for next week. I'm going to have some manly stuff for you for next week's live. And then back to the original Celebration products, we are starting to see some things sell out. So the card kit, the metallic baker's twine and sequins combo pack, and then that ever so popular black and white designer series paper has sold out. So we will see more of those products sell out as we get closer to the end of March. All right, next up, today is the very last day to sign up for the March Paper Pumpkin Kit. So March 10th is the deadline to get the March kit. If you haven't seen Paper Pumpkin before, it's a monthly subscription kit. You can do it month by month if that's what you choose, or you can sign up and do several months. So this is not the March kit. This is a past kit. This was one from back in the fall. So with every Paper Pumpkin kit, you of course get a package of stamps, a little package of stamps. You get a little ink spot, and then you get the project kit. So this one happened to be some fall treat bags. Right around Thanksgiving time, so it was all thankful and family. But you get the bags, you get the sequins, you get adhesives, and you get all the embellishments that you need to put the kit together. So these are actually great for camping, or if you're vacationing somewhere, to take with you, and you can put all these little things together. They're great. I hope to take my March one away on vacation. We'll see if it arrives in time, but so the March Paper Pumpkin Kit, of course, Paper Pumpkin is celebrating 7 years, so you're going to get an extra stamp set in the March kit, and it's all about spring. That's all that I know. It's going to be 12 cards, 4 of 3 designs, I believe it said, and it's all about spring. So you get the 2 stamp sets for March only as we celebrate 7 years of Paper Pumpkin. So again, today's the last day to sign up for the March kit. If you haven't done so and want the Paper Pumpkin kit, you can go to mypaperpumpkin.com and you can do that. So the March online class that I am offering, the deadline is Friday at midnight. This is the Witticisms little kit here. Has all kinds of 3D items and some cards, projects here. So there's 3 options for this class. You can get the class with the stamp set for $45. That's $53 with shipping unless you're local. Locals can do porch pickup, and the card kit is $45. You receive all the products to create these projects. Everything's going to be cut and scored. The only thing you provide, of course, is the stamps. So the stamps, the ink, and your adhesives, of course. So everything else will be included in the kit for you. It'll also come with a video tutorial and PDF directions. The second option for this class is with no stamp set. So maybe you already have the stamp set or you want to use something different. That class, it's $25 without the stamp set or $33 to ship. And everything shipping is priority mailer. Again, offering porch pickup if you live locally and would like to pick up. And then the third option is just the video and PDF for $10. You can get just the instructions for this class. So that's, again, deadline for this one is Friday at midnight to sign up. After sign-ups, I will get everything cut, prepped, and ordered, and you'll have your items by the end of March. So last week's project, we made this fun box with the oh goodness, the lily pad set. Whoops. So I used the dies to finish it off. I hadn't finished it off in the video, so I wanted to just show you how I did. So here's our little box that we made with the lily pad paper, and here was the finished one. So all I did was I cut out one of the little scallop rectangles. We're actually going to be using them tonight out of my new favorite die set. I know I say it every time. And then I cut out some of the lily pads, or the lily flowers, I guess, out of the lily pad dies set. I cut out a few of those, 3 of them, and stacked them on top of each other and actually glued them to vellum so that I made myself a little embellishment here for this tag. I used the this little piece here as my leaf, and then I finished it off by just punching the Label Me Bold hello out of the Bermuda Bay and stuck that on there with some little dimensionals, punched a hole, and tied it onto my ribbon. So I just wanted to show you how I finished up that little project from last week. All right. Oh, everything's falling down. Hi, Debbie. Hi, Shelly. So tonight's project, I have this really pretty fancy fold card using the Best Dressed 6x6 Designer Series paper, which has all these really pretty florals. Has a bunch of different floral designs in this paper, and it has on the back side, it has some other designs. There are some polka dots, there are some stripes, and then also coordinating with the Best Dressed sets, there are some perfume bottles, some lipstick, some shoes, all coordinating with that set. So this is very versatile 6x6 paper. I love it. So I decided I was going to create with this, and I'm going to show you a couple of cool things to do with it. So this card, I just created a little tag to go on the front, just says happy birthday. And we open the card, we untie the ribbon, and it's just a tri-fold card with a gift card holder. So it would make a cute gift. You could switch it up, use some manly papers. You can switch it up any way you want with Designer Series paper that you have on hand. So this is the card we're going to make this evening, and I will show you how it's done. Let me put this one back together here. You know, it's never so hard to tie bows as it is when you're trying to film online, live and in person, and you struggle. All right, well, we're just going to let it happen. There you go. Okay. So I decided to switch it up. So this one I used one of the backgrounds that has some purple in it. And if anyone who knows me knows that brights are a little out of my wheelhouse. I'm a neutrals girl all the way, but I did like the purple. So I did switch it up and stuck with what I know. And I'm going to make the second one out of my favorite piece of paper, out of this Designer Series paper. This one with the Melon Mambo and the pinks in it here. So we're going to start with the cardstock. So I took this is crumb cake is what I'm going to use for the background. So the background of the entire card is this piece here, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And then we have a piece of cardstock that is 4 1/4 by 10 1/2. I'm going to take my trimmer, oops, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to score this at 3 1/2 and at 7. So I guess I did need that arm out after all. Let's try again. So at 3 1/2 and at 7. Now when you're using your trimmer to score, make sure your cutter is way out of the way. I'm going to use just my scoring blade. 3 1/2, and then we're going to go down 7. So that's the piece that's going to give us our little tri-fold there on the front of our card. So I'm just going to take, I'm going to zigzag fold this, use my bone folder. And now I'm going to take my trimmer again. I'm going to take my flowered piece of Designer Series paper and I'm going to cut off at 3 3/4. So at 3 3/4, I'm just going to cut it. So we're going to save this piece for later. I'll show you what we're going to do with it. I'm going to set that to the side. And now we have a piece that's 3 3/4 by 6. I'm just going to go ahead and cut this in half so that we have two pieces that are 3 by 3 3/4. I have this coordinating piece from that same paper set. This is just a little green polka dot that I thought matched really well. And I'm going to cut this one at 2 1/2. So we need a piece that's 2 1/2 by 3 1/4. And then we're going to save this for another project. And then we're done with our trimmer here. All right. So let's start with our background. This is the background piece here. Now a little tip or trick or whatever you'd like to call it. So this is my piece of white that is 4 by 5 1/4. I went ahead and I cut out a couple of the rectangles that I needed to create my tags for the card. So I went ahead and I cut those right out of the inside of here because you're actually not going to see this. So number one, this reduces some weight in your card, but it also, of course, saves on your cardstock. So I didn't think I could quite squeak the third one in there, so I just did the two of them. And this is going to get glued down to the background. After I cut those pieces out, I actually ran it through with my folder here, and I'm going to butcher the name because I can never remember it. The Coastal Weave. The Coastal Weave 3D embossing folder, which is in the new mini catalog, and I adore. It's kind of like a little basket weave. It's really, really cool. So this piece is going to get glued down to our background, and I like to use my tear tape when it comes to embossed paper. I think it just works really well. And because I cut out these pieces, if I went to use some liquid glue, I'd probably make a mess with it. So I'm just going to use my tear tape. And then I'll take my little take your pick tool spatula and just take the backing off the tape. This thing is the best thing since sliced bread. And then this piece is just going to go right on our background, like that. And then we're going to cover that up, so you're not even going to see it when we're all done, all said and done. Okay, so we're going to take our tri-fold piece here, and I'm going to use one of the flowered papers, and I'm going to put it here. But before I do that, I'm going to use my same little trick that I did on the front, and I'm going to fussy cut out just a couple little, just probably just this one flower here. So I'm just going to stab it with my scissors and cut out this pink flower that's here. And we're going to use that on the front of our card. Decide which way I want it. There we go. And that's just going to go here. So again, you're never going to see it. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to glue it down. And my other pink piece I'm going to do over here. Oh, I almost did that backwards. Oh my goodness, what did I do? I've got myself all turned around. Okay, yes, I had it right. I just have it folded wrong here. There we go. I had myself all confused. Did you catch that? Can you smell that smoke with my brain turning from where you are? All right, let's try this again. All right, so now we're going to take and we're going to glue this one. To the other side here. And then our piece of the polka dot, the green polka dot, is going to go in the center. But we're going to use some tear tape again on this one. And I'm going to only glue just to the very edge. Because of course this is our little gift card pocket. And we want to be able to leave enough room to put our gift card in. I can't believe how much easier using that take your pick tool is. I had never had one, and then I'm like, oh, I'm going to try it. It is the bee's knees. I was trying to use my fingernails to take the tear tape backing off, so it's really quite cool. Okay, so there you go. There's your pocket for your little gift card. So on the inside, we have the largest stitched rectangle that I had cut out, and these again are all cut from the Stitch So Sweetly dies, which is the scallop stitched rectangles, which are awesome. And then they have these labels as well, which are also have the stitching on them. So I'm going to take my largest one here, and this time around I'm going to use the crumb cake ink. This little Another Sensational Year of You comes from the Sending You Thoughts, the Celebration set. So both the Happy Birthday and Another Sensational Year of You is going to go on here in crumb cake. So there's one. And then on the little tag for the front, I'm going to do the Happy Birthday. Now I cut myself out 2 of these just on the off chance I didn't make it in the first time, because I didn't give myself much room. Ah, there we go. Not too bad. All right, so there's that. That's all the stamping. So this guy is going to go ahead and get glued down on the inside. Like this. And you don't even see our little cutout there. So I could take and I could decorate this up with some more. I did not on my other example. I just went ahead like this. But I did want to change up the way that I did my ribbon. So on this one, I tied my ribbon around the whole card. But for this card, I decided I really would like to adhere the ribbon to this piece so that it doesn't come off the card. So I'm going to go ahead and take a piece of tear tape. And I'm going to run it across the back in the center of this paper here. And I'm going to lay my ribbon across it. So this is the, names are hard apparently. This is the polka dot tulle ribbon, which is awesome because you can also color this like you've seen me do on the crinkle seam binding ribbon. You can color it with your blends, which is cool. Alright, so to keep this glued down, I am going to go ahead and I'm going to use some liquid glue. I like my liquid glue when it comes to making sure things stay where you want them to stay. So and then I'm going to take this whole thing and I'm going to put it down on my background here. Like that. The other thing with the liquid glue is if you don't get it quite where you want it the first time around, you can sort of smush it into place. Okay, so there we go. So there is that. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to tie my ribbon. And I did mine sort of off to the center over here, and I cut myself way too much ribbon as usual, but that's okay. This polka dot ribbon is really pretty. It does stretch though, so you do have to be a little gentle with it. Alright, so I'm going to trim off the extra that I left myself. Not too shabby. Now we're going to make the tag for the front. So I took 2 of these rectangles here. You can see on my tag here. And I'm going to use the sprig punch. And then I have just a scrap of pear pizzazz. And I'm going to punch myself out a couple of these sprigs here. And I'm just going to put a little glue in the corner. And I'm going to tack these down here. And then to sandwich it in, I'm going to go ahead and glue this one down to the larger. So this, my methodology for doing this was just to sandwich these sprigs so that you didn't have that messy background on the tag that I created. So then I'm going to take this flower that I cut out of the piece that went on the inside that you no longer see. I'm just going to fussy cut out this little flower out of the DSP. And that's what's going to be my little embellishment on the tag. So I did the same thing on this purple one. I just cut out a little cluster of those flowers. And they really make for the perfect embellishment because they match the paper perfectly. Okay, so then I'm just going to take a dimensional. And I think a mini one will do the trick here. And I'm going to put my little flower, decide where I want it, put my little flower there. So there we go. So there's my little tag. So to glue this on to the ribbon, I'm also going to use another dimensional, this time a bigger dimensional. Well, I mangled that one, so let's try another one. And I'm actually going to stick the dimensional to the ribbon itself, because I don't want it to stick to the paper. I just want it to stick to the ribbon. I'm going to take the back off. And I'm going to put my little tag right up under the bow so that the bow kind of covers the end of it. I still have my bow a little bit big here. There we go. So there we go. There is our little tri-fold card in pink and in purple. So last but not least, I told you to save this piece that we cut off when we originally were cutting our little pieces. I'm going to show you what we're going to do with this. I am going to grab one of our envelopes. And all I'm going to do is run some glue. You could use tear tape, you could use liquid glue. I'm going to run some glue along the flap of the envelope. And then we're going to make a coordinating envelope. So this is just going to get glued down to the flap. Like so. We're going to take our snips and just trim around. And there we have it. So now we have a matching envelope to go with our little card. So which color do you think you like better? Again, I'm so drawn to neutrals. I do love these purples, but I love that piece of pink paper. It's really my favorite out of that set. But it has so many, all those florals in that designer series paper are so pretty. You could do all kinds of stuff with them. Now you get to watch me fight with this bow again. It's really not that hard. I don't know why I struggle when I'm trying to film, but anyway, this crinkle seam binding really does tie up like a dream. I make it look difficult, I think. All right, there we go. 2 cards out of that really pretty best dressed 6x6 designer series paper. So you can think of all kinds of different things. Our 6x6 paper is great. You can think of, there are all kinds of different things you could do with the 6x6 paper, but I wanted to show you just one thing we could do. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this project and that you will recreate it. I appreciate you stopping by. I'm not sure if I'll be on live next week. I will be going away on vacation on Wednesday, so we will see where Tuesday brings me. I'm hoping to come to you. Again, I have some manly projects for you next week with that celebration set that's coming in. So, all right, check back. I hope you have a great evening. Happy stamping, everyone. Bye-bye.